The escalation of wildfires in the past few years has made prevention a priority at the federal and state level. California's wildfire prevention budget is over $1.5 billion. But what does that mean for us in Marin? Here to help us understand the situation is Marc Levine, longtime assembly member for District 10. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure to be a part of this program and important for us to hear the message from Paradise, one that we should heed and take as a warning of what can happen if we don't prepare.
Agreed. You know, we're hearing about a lot of funding that's coming from the federal government to the national forests, money for the state, for more firefighters, but not a lot that we're hearing about locally here in Marin. So can you tell me what's coming down the pike?
Absolutely. So I'm grateful that the federal government's paying attention to California. Most of the forests in California are national forests, but we also have funding that we've been able to negotiate in our state budget to make for more defensible space in our communities. Some of that money is coming to Marin, and that's a good thing. And Marin is displaying its own leadership with the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, and this is going to benefit a lot of homeowners. We're trying to figure out a way, how do we get grants and money to help create the defensible space for people who are struggling to make their homes safer, and of course the entire community benefits. I've introduced legislation, AB 1522, to create a grant and incentive program for homeowners to do that.
Oh. Well, that's great. I think, you know, people are getting their assessments now. They're going to get a list of actionable items that they need to take. And so there will be funding then for folks to begin to try and harden their homes, to work from the house out.
So in Marin, for those that are able to avail themselves of MWPA's funding, that's absolutely correct, but I don't think that anyone should wait if they have the ability to start making those hardening investments now, because they could be waiting a very long time, particularly in other parts of the state. Hopefully my legislation will pass this year, and then we'll have a program for the whole state that Marin is benefiting from locally.
That's great. So these actions that people can take, in a sense, become their own insurance. And that's another thing that we've been hearing a lot from the public and our fire agencies. Folks are telling us that their insurance rates are increasing. They're doubling, they're tripling. They're concerned about them being canceled. Fire agencies are going out, doing assessments, helping write letters so that they can keep their insurance. But what's happening around that issue?
I've been hearing from constituents about non-renewals, about skyrocketing rates, and I sent out an email late this summer asking people to share their stories, and I had 50 people respond just in the course of a weekend. And this was a concern for me. It was really where the beginning of AB 1522 generated to create a class of catastrophic wildfire insurance for moderate and high-risk areas, people that live in wildland urban interfaces like I do, like so many people in Marin and even across California do, to be able to get insurance, strengthen the California marketplace by having reinsurance-backed insurance, similar to the California Earthquake Authority. After the Northridge earthquake, insurers didn't want to cover earthquake. The California Earthquake Authority made this possible. So this Catastrophic Wildfire Insurance Act is going to be modeled in a way to strengthen that insurance marketplace in California. It will also have the grant and incentive component so that people can make those investments and understand that they're making investments that will make their homes safer. And that's important. We've heard about scores that people have, that they're getting dropped by their insurer because their fire risk score is too high. These scores are proprietary. They're not transparent. They're not standard. We need to create some standardization so that homeowners can make investments that they understand will make their home safer, but also make it easier for them to get insurance.
Yeah, I think people are beginning to understand that they need to take action and that there is help out there, and there's people working hard, whether it's for more funding or to be able to keep high quality insurance at reasonable rates.
Yeah, we're seeing this across the state. I was up in Paradise. I met with the mayor, the city manager. They're informative and helpful in understanding how we can create insurance, even for a place like Paradise where the fuel reduction has already occurred tragically because of the fire, and PG&E lines are being undergrounded. They're still struggling to get insurance. So how do we do something that actually works for all of California? During my campaign for insurance commissioner, I'm hearing from places all across the state where they've had this struggle. So we need a regulator in place to create the standardization important for the scoring system to make sense for most Californians, and also to make sure that the marketplace is strengthened.
Marc Levine, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Bill.
Much appreciated.